Hold on. Before you scroll past, listen to this carefully. What you're about to hear is not just a story, it's a silent truth that has been controlling the lives of millions of people. And the scary part is, you might be one of them. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're capable of more, but something invisible is holding you back? Like no matter how much potential you have, you just don't move. A man was walking along a quiet road when he came across a group of elephants. They were huge, powerful, calm, but something didn't make sense. These massive animals weren't locked in cages. They weren't held down by heavy chains. Instead, each one was tied by a small rope around its leg. The man stopped. He stared in disbelief. How is this possible? He thought. These animals are strong enough to break trees. So why are they standing still like this? Curious, he walked over to a trainer nearby and asked, "Why don't these elephants break the rope and escape?" The trainer smiled. "When they were very young," he said, "we used the same rope to tie them. At that age, they tried to break free. Over and over again. They pulled, they struggled, they fought with everything they had, but they couldn't break it. So eventually, they stopped trying." The man's expression changed. The trainer continued. As they grew older, they became stronger, more powerful than ever. But in their minds, that rope is still unbreakable. They don't try anymore, because they believe they can't. Think about that for a second. They are not held back by the rope. They are held back by a belief. And the truth is, a lot of people are living exactly like those elephants. At some point in your life, you tried something and failed. Maybe you were rejected. Maybe you were told you weren't good enough. Maybe life knocked you down, again and again. And just like the elephant, you stopped trying, not because you're weak, but because you believe you can't. But here's the reality. You are not that same person anymore. You've grown. You've learned. You've become stronger than you were before. The rope that once held you back is no longer stronger than you. So the real question is, what rope is still holding you back? And more importantly, why haven't you broken it yet? Because the moment you decide to try again, you'll realize something powerful. The rope was never the problem. The belief was, break it. Because the moment you decide to try again, something strange happens. The fear you thought was permanent starts to weaken. The doubt that once felt real begins to fade. And that unbreakable rope starts to feel fragile. At first, it won't be easy. Your mind will fight you. It will remind you of every time you failed, every embarrassment, every rejection. It will whisper, don't try again. What if you fail? What if nothing changes? But here's the truth, your mind won't tell you. What if you don't fail this time? What if you've already become strong enough, but you just haven't tested it yet? What if the only difference between where you are now and where you want to be is one decision, one attempt, one moment of courage, one time you say, not this time? Picture that elephant again, standing still, the rope tied loosely around its leg. Now imagine, it pulls, just once, and the rope snaps. Years of limitation, destroyed in seconds. Not because the rope changed, but because the elephant finally did. That's how powerful belief is. It can imprison you, or it can set you free. So I'll ask you again, what rope is still tied around your life? Is it fear, failure, people's opinions, your past, or is it the voice in your head telling you, you can't? Because at the end of the day, the world is not holding you back. Your past is not holding you back. Even your failures are not holding you back. The only thing holding you back is the belief that you are still that weak version of yourself. But you're not. You've outgrown that version. You've outgrown that rope. And deep down, you already know it. So the next time fear tells you to stay still, remember this. You are never stuck. You were just convinced you were. Now, break it. Here's what most people never realize. The rope isn't just a rope. It's a story your mind tells you. A story written by fear, doubt, and past failures. A story that convinces you, I am not ready. I am not strong enough. I will fail again. And because we believe that story, we stop moving. We stop trying. We stop growing. Ask yourself honestly, how many dreams have died quietly because of that invisible rope? How many opportunities have slipped away because you believed you weren't capable? Years pass, seasons change, people around you grow, and yet you remain in the same place. tied to a rope you could have broken long ago. But the truth, that rope has no power. It's your belief that gives it strength. It's your hesitation, your doubt, your fear that keeps it tight. The moment you decide you are done listening to that voice, the rope becomes nothing more than a memory, a shadow of the past. Picture this: an elephant, massive and unstoppable. Every muscle ready, every sinew powerful. It pauses, it looks at the rope one last time, and then, with a calm, decisive pull, it snaps. Freedom, power, limitless potential. It was never about the rope. It was about realizing the strength inside itself. Now ask yourself, what could happen if you pull on your rope? What could happen if you refuse to listen to the voice that says, you can't, you're not ready, not yet? What could happen if you tried, just once, with everything you've got today? Most people never try again. They live a life half-lived, trapped by the memory of what they once thought they couldn't do. But you have a choice. You can either stay tied, or you can realize the rope was never real. And the incredible thing about this, the first pull is the hardest. The first attempt shakes you. It awakens something in you didn't know existed. And after that, nothing can hold you back again. Not fear, not doubt, not anyone or anything. Because once you break free, you see clearly. The only limit was the one you believed in. Most people don't notice it, but there's a subtle force that governs their choices. It isn't fear in its obvious form. It's quiet, insidious, a constant whisper that molds your reality without you realizing it. It tells you that your past defines your present, that every failure, every misstep, is a chain around your ankles. And because you've listened for so long, you move cautiously, tentatively, as if weighed down by something real, when in truth, it's entirely imagined. You've been conditioned to accept boundaries you no longer need. A thought, a word, an expectation that once made sense now keeps you small, and you adapt, you adjust, you lower your standards to fit the size of your doubts. Without even knowing, you begin to shrink yourself, not physically, not visibly, but internally, where it matters, where your potential lives. Here's the thing most people never grasp. Change doesn't demand a roar. It doesn't need drama. It begins with recognition, seeing the cord for what it is, feeling its weight, and realizing that it is hollow. Understanding that your body, your mind, your will have always been capable. You just didn't remember. And then, something shifts. You pause. You notice your heartbeat, the energy in your arms, the fire in your chest. You sense the power that's been waiting patiently beneath layers of doubt and habit. And in that instant, you understand. This is the edge. This is the threshold where your life tilts from limitation to liberation. All that separates you from what you want is the courage to extend your hand and pull. You realize the cord does not resist you. It is waiting, mocking you, not with malice, but with patience. And the more you resist the lie, the weaker it becomes. Each small decision, each quiet refusal to accept the old story, chips away at its power until one moment arrives, a single movement, and the barrier disappears. When you step beyond it, the world feels different, not because anything outside changed, but because everything inside did. You see possibility where you once saw walls. You see paths where you once saw dead ends. You see yourself, finally, unrestrained, fully realized, and you understand something profound. The limits were never outside. They were waiting inside, for you to confront them. There is a quiet force in all of us, a subtle current that shapes the way we move, think, and breathe. It's not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't shout. It doesn't knock. It creeps in softly. It whispers that some things are impossible, that some doors are closed, that some dreams are meant for other people, just not for you. And over time, you start to believe it. You begin to navigate life with invisible chains wrapped tightly around your ambitions, your courage, your very spirit. Chains forged not by iron, but by memory, by doubt, by the echoes of you tried and failed before. Think about it. How many times have you stopped before you even began? How many opportunities did you watch slip past because your mind told you, not today, not for you, you're not ready? And slowly, subtly, you start to shrink yourself, not physically, not outwardly, but inside, layer by layer, piece by piece. You compress your potential to fit within the tiny cage your past built for you. You learn to live small, quietly, carefully, safely, because the rope that held you once, feels real, permanent, unbreakable. But here is the truth. The rope was never strong. The rope never mattered. What mattered was the belief in the rope. What mattered was the surrender to a lie. And the power you think is missing, it has been inside you all along, waiting, patient, silent. One day, something will stir. A thought, a feeling, a restlessness that cannot be ignored. And in that moment, you'll notice the chains, not on your body, but in your mind. You'll feel the weight of every doubt you ever accepted, every I can't you ever whispered to yourself, every limitation you let grow in silence. And then, you'll realize it's all been a construct, a shadow cast by your own untested courage. And so you take a step, small at first, tentative, careful, but you notice something incredible. The chain wobbles, it bends, it loosens. Every attempt, no matter how quiet, chips away at the illusion. And slowly, without drama, without force, you understand. You were never trapped. The rope never had power. The cage never existed. It was only your mind. Here's the part people forget. You have been given freedom all along. Freedom to act. Freedom to rise. Freedom to claim what you thought you could never have. All you needed was the courage to test it. All you needed was one motion, one decision, one moment of defiance. Because the mind obeys what you feed it, the rope obeys what you believe, and reality bends to the strength of your conviction. Step back and consider this. Everything you believed was impossible was only impossible because you believed it. Everything you were told you couldn't do was only powerful because you accepted it. Your potential is infinite. Your strength is yours. Your freedom is waiting just beyond the veil of fear. So today, now, stop. Look at the ropes in your life, the fears, the doubts, the stories you tell yourself. All of them are illusions. And in the silence that follows, stretch, reach, pull, break the cord, tear the cage apart, step into the space you're always meant to occupy. Because nothing outside you can hold you. Nothing in the past can define you. Nothing anyone says can stop you except the story you tell yourself. You were never weak. You were never small. You were never trapped. The rope never mattered. It was you who forgot how powerful you are. Now remember and rise. And just when you think you understand it, there's another layer. Because this isn't just about strength. It's about awareness. There are people walking through life right now, free in body, but imprisoned in mind. And most of them will never question it. There was once an experiment. A fish was placed in a large tank. In the same tank, food was dropped on the other side. But between the fish and the food, there was a transparent glass wall. The fish saw the food and rushed toward it. Bang! It hit the glass. Again. Bang! Again. Bang! Over and over. It tried, driven by instinct, by hunger, by desire. But every single time, it failed. Eventually, it stopped trying. Days later, the glass wall was removed. The barrier was gone. Nothing stood between the fish and the food anymore. Freedom was right there. But the fish didn't move. It stayed in the same place. It had learned the boundaries so well that even when it no longer existed, it still believed it did. Do you see it now? This is how the mind works. You don't need real barriers. Once the invisible ones are installed, failure teaches you where to stop. Pain teaches you what to avoid. Embarrassment teaches you what not to try again. And slowly, you build your own glass walls, clear it invisible, untouchable, but absolutely controlling. You stop speaking up. You stop taking risks. You stop chasing what once excited you, not because you can't, but because something inside you says, don't go there. It won't work. But what if the wall is gone? What if the thing that stopped you before no longer exists? What if the only thing standing between you and your next level is a memory? The elephant doesn't pull the rope. The fish doesn't cross the tank. Different stories, same prison, belief. And here's the most dangerous part. You begin to call it reality. You say, this is just how life is. This is my limit. This is as far as I can go, without ever questioning it, without ever testing it again. But the moment you question it, everything changes. The moment you challenge that voice, that old memory, that conditioned limit, you crack the illusion. Imagine the fish, just once, swimming forward. No hesitation, no fear, no memory holding it back. And suddenly, there's no impact, no resistance, just open space. Imagine the elephant, pulling, and realizing it was never stuck. Years of limitation, gone in a second. Now this is where it gets real. Because it's not about them, it's about you. What are you still avoiding? Because of something that happened years ago, what are you still afraid to try? Because you once failed, what part of your life is still controlled by something that no longer exists? You are not stuck. You are remembering a version of yourself that no longer exists. You are obeying limits that were never meant to last. You are standing still in a world that is wide open. So this is your moment, not tomorrow, not someday. Now, test the rope, challenge the wall, step forward, because the truth is, there was never anything there, and everything you want has been waiting on the other side. If this message spoke to you, don't just scroll away. Take a second, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel, because sometimes the reminder you need is just one video away.